What is it?
Good Stewart Consulting. It was only $50, but I don't think I remember.
Which bank rec are you doing?
I am on the, March 31st.
The March one?
Yep.
Let's see. Is it consulting place?
Yeah, it says,
Good Stewart Consulting, $50.
here. Stumped hers.
Yes, you did. I've got to
What
pull
is
the
it?
check.
Good Stewart Consulting.
What is it, 13?
What's this Licking Memorial Occupational Health? Is it not a police fund?
Yeah, that's for Nick's physical for his fire and police pension program through the state.
I was just wondering.
Oh, it was refunding a cleaning deposit.
Oh. So it was basically like a business
That-
that.
Yes,
rented and then-
the rent of the
okay.
Grange, yes.
Gotcha.
They rented it 2 days. I believe that was the.
Oh, that's the company for when the solar and the
Yes,
other people
when
were
they had
having.
that big meeting down there
Yeah.
for 2 days.
Sam did confirm she can see us and hear us,
Okay.
so we're good to go.
Do you want me to start or?
You
No, you
keep going.
You're
We've been
fine.
taking notes.
Brenneman Excavating? That was also March, sorry.
That
Nope.
should have probably, how much was it for?
550?
550, so.
That's the other part of them working on the thing out here, the
Yeah.
digging.
So that was the contractor for Walnut Creek Sewer District, and that was probably for a permit we had to reimburse, because he had bought them in bulk ahead of time.
And actually, we've already been reimbursed for that because we already got the check back from that,
For,
for the siren, I believe.
oh, you're talking about from the county?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, we got that check back in,
2 weeks ago, maybe?
yeah, something like that.
That could be. I'm waiting for him to sneak in.
So, the Ohio Police and Fire, did we pay into pension for it?
Yes, yep. So,
No,
so when we talked about the budget, we talked about putting him on a salary, so he can pay into that, then he donates whatever the difference is from the taxes to what he made
Yeah.
back into the village. But we can't just pay directly into it, we have to actually pay him something in order to do the calculation. April 28th is when I show that you done that deposit for Fairfield County,
Okay,
or somewhere around there.
that's probably about right. I know we did it quick, like,
Yeah.
we got it back quick from when we did it.
Yeah, because that was for 48,000.
Yes, correct. On the second bank rec, which would have been April, you're gonna see a weird adjustment for $50. And that was it was a lost check that happened in December of 2024.
Okay.
But you have to do adjustment, it looks weird in the bank rec, but it was $50, so.
Okay.
Guess I should have texted you earlier, huh?
It wouldn't have mattered, I couldn't have got here.
Oh, okay.
So did we?
You're fine.
When you say lose, somebody just said cash it or like?
They never received it.
Oh, okay.
It was a refund on they rented the shelter, or no, they rented the Grange, and it was a refund, and I hurry up and did them at the end of the year, and they
Yeah.
never got it, so, and they just called. And when it crosses years, because of the UAN system, you have to do it weird.
Right.
Sorry. Didn't see you coming there, Bill.
Oh, you're all right. Hey, Jason, how are you?
If I was any finer, I'd be happy.
There you go.
They pulled out that, and then there was
Which
a
part?
bank. Yeah.
Her son had
Yeah.
his last week's
Everything you hand means ours. If anything I
You got
hand
to-
you is,
you got
yeah,
to-
I've got one more.
The first full week of June,
It's always the weekend of Flag Day.
How about Basin
I had somebody ask me,
Entertainment
I wasn't sure.
for $100?
June 13th and 14th.
We had to put a
14th.
deposit down on stuff for the
Thank you.
festival.
Not a problem.
That's one of the bands.
Well, I thought about it.
I've seen some of the, I've seen some people that have sent in applications for vendors. I don't think we're gonna have as many this year as we had.
Oh, I gotta start running those reports for you too.
For the festival?
Yes,
Yeah.
I forgot to do that.
I mean, right now, I'm not too worried about it.
Okay.
Guess what? Whoever shows up is who shows up.
Right? It'll all be a good time.
Rejection is God's protection.
Is there still time for people to
Oh,
apply?
for sure, they can apply for the day before.
I'll try to remember to put it out. I think I know a bunch of people that might, they have different things they do, I could post on their Facebook and stuff.
Yeah.
Somebody wants to, how many spots do you have?
As many as I can get.
Oh, okay. And
We
I might
had-
have got more too.
We had 39 something or 40 something last year,
Okay,
and we had plenty of room.
okay.
Jason made it happen, Captain.
I'll say, we've got plenty of room at that park to grow a little bit.
I'll try to remember.
Don't try to memorize it.
That might still help.
My phone was crazy stuff.
Hey Corey, your microphone, do you want to put it closer to your face? Sam just says she can't hear you or Michelle. There you go.
So talking about paper, is there a way that we can run it?
So we've talked about not printing out financial reports
Yeah.
and things like that. And we started doing that, but then people don't bring their laptops or whatever, or they're not, and then we have to print them out anyway, so we kind of went back. I mean, we just do a lot of printing with everything that we do, records-wise, mayor's report-wise, your end-of-month reports that you just have to have
Yeah.
paper copy files.
Yeah.
Like those reports get decently thick. And mayor's report's really what's eating up a lot of our paper consumption right now, just the amount of paperwork that's in it. But we're also changing some things to reduce paper. The police department actually changed their reporting system, that it used to it used to print out 8 pages minimum. Well, now we're down to 1 with this new one, unless something needs more detail. Did you guys approve your March and April financials?
No, they need to,
Okay,
Not yet.
okay.
No.
No, you're fine.
Where were we on?
Well, I'm,
There's a lot. I'm almost ready to get tomorrow.
You got plenty of
I
time.
know, I keep looking at the thing. Okay. That's the last signature.
Oh, thanks. I couldn't find
Body
any links to anything else.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Uh-huh. My 10-year-old loves to take off with me and I never find them again, so. I have like 30 sports bottles, no lids.
You know, I'm thinking that.
Sure you will. Thank you. You wanna sign off on these or no?
I was gonna leave, wasn't I?
No, you're still in the meeting.
Absolutely.
You just appeared late.
That was
Yeah,
good, wasn't
I marked you in, you're fine. You can get one or several, or you can have, yeah, you can have whatever you want. I've not opened it yet, I just took the pink sheets. You're delicate, is that what you said?
Don't like a hammer. I was gonna say don't get like a bobcat, but okay. Don't get like a bobcat. There you go.
Okay.
Do I need to make a motion? March 2025 financial documents.
Okay.
And then, approval of the.
You gotta do roll call first.
Oh, roll call, sorry.
Oh, roll call. Michelle DeMol,
Yes.
Bob Pickborn,
I? Yes.
Corey Harrier,
Yes.
And then do I have approval of the April 2024 documents?
Yes.
And
I'll make a motion to approve the April
2025
financial documents.
And I'll second it.
Michelle DeMol,
Yes.
Bob Pickborn,
Yes.
Corey Harrier.
Yes.
And then do we have any old business?
I know.
Resolution for supplemental appropriations?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We'll discuss it in council.
Okay.
Make a motion to,
I'll second it at 6:53.
Thank you.
Sam's gonna call you back and play. House in Bremen for sale.
Good. All right, it is 7:03 PM on May 8th, 2025. If we can stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, just a reminder, everyone, when you speak up, or when you speak, please speak up into the microphones. Sam's not here. Penny and I are going to be helping out doing the note-taking, but we are recording this so Sam can So definitely do the minutes, but make sure we're speaking up so everyone can be heard. All right, we'll go ahead and have roll call. Penny,
Mayor Henderson,
present.
President DeMalt,
Here.
Councilman Mason,
Here.
Councilman Pegborn,
Here.
Councilwoman Harrier,
Here.
Councilman Wharton,
Here.
Councilman Henry.
Here.
All right, we have no guests tonight, so we'll go ahead and move on to the approval of the regular council meeting minutes from April 10th, 2025. Bill made the motion,
I'll second it.
seconded by Katie. Roll call.
President DeMalt,
Yes.
Councilman Mason,
Yes.
Councilman Pegborn.
Yes.
Bob
Oh,
has
wait,
to
you have to
abstain.
abstain.
Oh, that's right. I
You were here,
wouldn't.
yep.
I seen it as I said it. Councilwoman Harrier,
Yes.
Councilwoman Wharton,
Yes.
Councilman Henry.
Yes.
All right, finance reports.
Nothing to report on the
Okay. Zoning property maintenance, I did hire, I call her Rosie Freeland. Rosie, I can never pronounce her married name. She'll kill me for that. But anyway, so we're getting her feet wet. We are meeting, we do have one permit in-house. And she's going through and getting like the top 5 properties to kind of start on that she feels need to be addressed. So we're going to regroup next week, start sending out letters. We'll also start, now that we have someone in place, we'll also start doing the Facebook post of making sure people are mowing their yards. If you know a neighbor that, needs help, make sure we're helping them or trying to find help for them. Because it's not about just telling people, hey, you need to mow your yard. If people need help, we need to identify those and try to find people that can help out. Because again, the village themselves can't go out and mow, but there's always people that are always asking what they can do to give back to the community, and we can hook different people up to make sure that's done. Rules, records, and law? Corey? Or, no, I'm sorry.
I was actually gonna say on zoning,
Mhm.
I did reach out, sent an email, I'm waiting on responses
Oh, okay,
to
yep,
set the first meeting for reviewing the, possible news and everything.
okay.
Sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. I'm glad you brought that up.
Records, rules, and laws. I don't have anything except for before Katie and Bob leaves today, can we set up a meeting before next council meeting to talk about some ordinances?
Sure.
All right. Recreation, community center, and pool.
Nothing new.
Okay. Casey will give an update on the pool when he gives his report. Just so everyone's aware, with the pool being back in full swing, we have some disparities between Bremen Elementary and Pleasantville Elementary as far as how we treat our students. So we found that out, and what we're going to do is we're going to mimic what Bremen does for their students to make sure that everyone has the same experience when they go to Fairfield Union grade schools. So on the last 4th grade day, which is May 22nd, we will be giving them a free pool party for all graduating 4th graders. And that'll be from 2 to 4, plus their parents and their siblings. In addition, each 4th grader that graduates will also get 1 coupon for an individual attendance at a future date. Again, that'll bring in their family, they'll pay, blah, blah, blah. But the goal is here to we've been closed for a year. People's kind of forgotten about our pool. There will be some changes down there, but we might be able to draw in some different families, some new families that, has never used Pleasantville Pool. So, these things usually do pay off, whether we get 1 or 2 pool passes we normally wouldn't, or just giving someone an experience that they wouldn't otherwise had in Pleasantville. So, but those are coming up. We want to make sure, I did talk to Mayor Taylor and Bremen, so if they do come up with something that they do for the students, make sure we know, because we want to make sure that all the, Bremen elementary students and Pleasantville elementary students have the same experience. That way there are no differences there. And same way with us, if we do something, we'll let them know. All right, safety service?
Nothing.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna suggest too, that we work with the officers, the sheriff's departments
Mhm.
come in and do like a free day and I'd even go and pass out something and
Yep, so,
maybe talk to the chief and see if we can do like a full day.
yeah,
And then we need to maybe, start thinking about popsicles like we did last year.
Yeah, I think popsicles would be a great idea. It went over like gangbusters last year, so, yeah.
okay.
Is there room in there if we start buying in your freezer?
Yes,
Okay. Yeah.
we
Yeah,
have,
that's what we did last year, is kind of drop them in there.
yeah. Well, we have the freezer at the
Oh.
park, because that's where we had those last year, because of the
See,
sprinklers.
every time I buy my Bergman here,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, but that's where they ended up going, but yeah, we got the freezer space for that. We actually have some popsicles left over from last year. So before you buy any, maybe look and see what's in that freezer. I don't know how many's in there. But what you're talking about, we call that Hot Dogs with Heroes Day.
Yeah.
So our fire department, or Pleasant Township Fire Department actually heads that up for us.
Okay.
And we already talked to them about bringing in the police department.
Okay.
They always invite the sheriff's office and get some SROs in there. But they manage it. They have a firefighter that actually likes doing that.
Yeah.
So it's one less thing we have to do. He organizes it, gets all the donations and things like that. So yeah, I've already talked to the chief at Pleasant Township. They're working on it. They just need a date realistically, but we'll have to discuss that because I'm not sure what shift that firefighter's on to make sure it matches up. So, but yeah, and then we'll also do some other free days. We'll kind of get into new business. Make sure we bring back if it gets too hot, meaning, we have weather advisories because of humidity and everything. We open up the pool for free for anyone. And then also we talked about doing Dollar Wednesdays. Again, we reduced our prices, and it's just getting people back into our pool for the first year. Since it's, again, 1 year isn't a long time, but in pool years, that's a lifetime. So, all right. County boards, regional planning and Board of Health.
Nothing to report on you.
Okay. Grant updates, NRG, CDBG funding. Again, we're phasing all those out. We have some punch lists that are being completed. So hopefully by next council meeting, those will all be completed and on to other things.
Bob, did you have nothing for safety? Nothing? Okay. Just
Oh,
sure.
sorry.
Same thing with OPWC. That right there was the drainage tile for Summit Street. It's at the punch-out list. The contractor has that. They should be up, going through. Finishing all that, I did see them in town today doing some work, so hopefully by next month, everything will be completed on that. But, OPWC, that was due to a flooding issue. We've had a lot of rain this past month. There has been no flooding in that area. So if you remember right, that area, people were actually canoeing and kayaking for days after a rainstorm because there was so much water that laid there, and now we have nothing. So it's done a wonderful job. Everyone seems grateful about it, so I think that was a definitely needed project, so. And that was one of those projects that residents brought to us. It wasn't even on our radar, but then at one of our meetings, residents came to us and said, hey, if you haven't noticed, we got this problem. And luckily, we were able to shift our gears from applying for grant money for this project into that one because it was similar. We hadn't actually formalized anything yet, so it kind of just worked out perfectly. So that was, a great collaboration between residents and the village council. Did you have something, Corey?
I've noticed a difference after we did the work on Summit Street and Second
Yep.
in my yard. So it's awesome.
ARPA funding for the water tower. I did have a meeting today with the bonding company and our engineers. So we do have a way forward now. We will start getting some traction on that now versus meeting after meeting after meeting. Now we've kind of decided this is how we're going to move forward. The bonding company has asked us to go ahead and rebid out the jobs for the remaining balance of work that needs to be done. Collect those in. Hopefully we get at least 3. If not, it is what it is. And if it comes in under what's left of the contract, which is about $200,000, we just get them to be rebonded, get their insurance, and we can issue them the new contract to finish it for that dollar amount. If it goes over the balance that's on there, then the bonding company is responsible to make up that difference. And then they will then have to contract the company because then they're going to be paying them directly most likely. Again, the bonding company has tons of options. We just have to do whatever they tell us. So until we know what company and what that dollar amount is, there's still juggling room back and forth. But the engineers are going to be working on that, getting that rebid. So hopefully by next month, we'll have a bid packet available to where we bid that out. We will put a stipulation in there. It has to be done by this September. We're done. I'm done with this water tower. It's September, and if you can't get it done by September, you're not getting the job. There's just no way around it. Which will hurt us because typically tank jobs you bid out the year prior. So every tank repair place or tank manufacturer already has their year lined up. So it is going to cause some problems, but our funding expires at the end of this year. We can't go into next year. If not, we lose money that we don't have to pay out of our pocket. So All right. Any questions on that? Because I know that's kind of been a lot of information from month to month and changes and updates, so, but that's where we're at now.
I hope we never have to deal with water tanks ever again.
Well, that's not gonna happen.
I will promise you while I'm mayor, I'm never touching a water tank again. So when that needs
Yeah.
done, you'll have my resignation.
When you're off mayor, I'm off council, so.
So,
Just kidding.
all right, we'll go ahead and go to maintenance report.
Okay, basically, a lot of paperwork being shuffled around right now, we're still getting ready for the CCL. I gotta get it posted by the end of this month. So look for that to be coming out. We had 2 major water repairs, we're still looking in an area that we have another one in. So we're actually getting rid of some of our leaks, which is a great thing.
Well, can we stop there too? Because I want to elaborate on this, because we talk about leaks a lot. And people don't understand, like I don't even understand sometimes. So one of the major leaks they found was in someone's backyard, literally. We're not allowed in your backyard. We'll never see it. However, they didn't see it. Because what they did is back in 1908, whenever they built this house, they put the water line in through a cistern. Well, the leak was in the cistern before the meter, because it was actually technically in the ground. So you have water filling up the cistern, and when the cistern got full, it kind of shut itself off per se. And then as the cistern released water, it filled it back in. But again, no one's tracking this, no one sees it. It takes special equipment that we don't have. We have to go out and borrow it. Spend hours, which is fine. Like, I'm not complaining, or I'm not complaining because I don't do it. It's Casey and Tony. But,
Days.
yeah, days. And isolating it. And then the property owner, in this case, is exceptional. You know, like, they get it. But at first, when you go to a property owner and say, you got a leak in your backyard, and it's bone dry, we look like idiots, right? But we found out, we were able to prove to them, things like that. So, you know, that's why it's important to report everything. Like, you may think it's small, or if we say we think there's a water leak here, kind of let us investigate, because, you know, the equipment that we can borrow now is very, I don't want to say it's precise, it's sounding machine, or sounding instruments. But with sound, you can isolate the area, so it has to be in this area, right? I don't know how they found that. I mean, honestly, I don't know how you found that one. Yeah, because that is just weird.
They'd been looking at that area for, what, a year just
Yeah.
about, I think. So,
Wasn't
Yes.
it like wet sometimes and then we dry and then get wet again and then it would get dry?
well, it was running back there behind his garage to the drain. We couldn't figure
Yeah.
out where it's coming from.
Because he has no water
Yeah.
going to the garage.
So did
Got
that
it.
affect his water into the house?
No.
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 Because it was filling up, because of where it was filling up,
Mm-hmm.
it kept the pressure in the line too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So he wasn't losing pressure in the house because
wow.
Yeah.
where the line was running, it was full
Yep.
of water.
Yeah,
But one of these days when we have the new meters in, that would have detected that.
Yes.
oh, really?
Yeah.
It would have, yes.
Because of the sound. It's picking up the sound
Yeah.
automatically. We
Okay.
don't have to bring in extra equipment. But, you know, it's just important to everyone to understand, like, we talk about chasing ghosts. This literally was one of those ghosts.
We've actually chased that one for over a year.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, good job.
We just got lucky.
Sounds like you chased it for years, you might not have been lucky.
But, so we got 2 major ones. We still got one. We know the area. We're still trying to figure it out. So if you see us walking through town looking like idiots sometimes, that's what we're doing. We're chasing water leaks.
Not really. Sometimes they just walk around like idiots. So let's just be honest.
If it's just me, it's just, you know, that's normal. If you haven't noticed, we started mowing as much as we could in between rain. So some places are getting hit twice, 3 times a week to try to catch up because the grass is growing faster, which is a good thing, but our summer hires will start coming in on weekends and start helping us out.
Yeah. And your main
So,
priority is
school-
ball diamonds right now because
Yeah,
of,
our priority right now is ball diamonds, so, we're hitting them up as much as we can. We've been working on the rental building next door and getting the pool ready. Hopefully, if everything goes right tomorrow, we will actually start slow filling that over the weekend. Our goal is to fill as much as we can over the weekend, slowly fill it over the weekend, and then we'll turn it off for Monday, Tuesday, and we'll start refilling it again. Because we don't want to go too fast because our water plant's finally resting a little bit. and we don't wanna jam it up again. And servicing all the equipment, that's where we've been for the last month. Any questions?
Sounds like enough.
And that's why we say, if you guys are walking and you see water, Miss Brenda's Bob's wife has told us a couple times, hey, I see water here, and we want to check it out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, so if you even see water, let us know while you're out walking.
Or smell, not that you smell chlorine really strong with our water, but sometimes you can smell chlorine, just like if you're walking down the street, you don't typically smell chlorine. So if you do, point that out too, because that right there tells us there's chlorinated water coming to the surface somewhere, we need to look. Because we had that at the end of Second Street, it's kind of how we found one of those
That's
last
how we
year,
found one on First,
or First Street, yeah.
well, it's coming through Second Street.
Yeah.
We smelled it on Second Street, followed it all the way to First Street.
Yeah.
Fun.
All right.
And the pool will be up and operational. We should be fully ready to go. And when I say fully, everything but the water filled in should be tomorrow. As far as we go, then we'll have, when we start getting lifeguards in, we can get them in and start cleaning and stuff like that, hopefully by next week. If we have enough. But our goal is not to do anything during the week except for fill the water and
Mhm.
start getting the system up and running next week. And then the weekend, we should be able to start getting in there.
Okay.
That's the goal.
All right.
Because actually, we'll have some hires put
Yeah.
in on the weekend.
So if that's when you're ready to, have you talked to, so you want to do it? Because we got to relay that to Anna. So
Well,
the
yeah, we're on-
17th is when you think?
Yeah, and that's why we haven't let her know, or we haven't let the office get all over yet.
Okay,
Because we're just trying to make sure we are completely ready by
and that's fine.
next week.
But that way she can go ahead and start putting them on notice. We think that you'll be here working the 17th and 18th,
Correct.
and that way it's not,
Well, we also got to see if that, make sure that doesn't interfere with the lifeguard classes, because we don't know when those are going.
yeah, I believe those start the 19th. So it'd be that Monday. Because they do start on Monday. For the full cert, it's Monday through
Friday.
Friday.
But they're starting school there too.
Yeah, it's in the evening.
Okay,
Yeah, they do their, because it's only a couple hours each night.
okay.
And then those that need recert is just one day, but it's like 4 or 5 hours, and he does that on Saturday, which is probably the 24th. I'm not sure on that date, but yeah.
Tell me where I am, that council.
Okay, yeah,
That's what we were working.
okay, yep,
Before we,
yeah, but they're not using our pool, they're using Baltimore's pool for training.
right,
So,
but.
yeah, so you don't conflict when, yep.
What, 2 years ago, that was.
Yeah, yeah, because you never know, something, pump could go wrong in Baltimore, and we have to switch to either Pleasantville or Bremen
Yeah.
for training, so. Because Thornville doesn't have a pool anymore, so we can't switch there anymore. All right. We'll skip over the chief's report. If he shows up, we'll go back to it. Do we have any old business? If not, we'll move to new business. All right. New business, we have mosquito spraying with the Fairfield County Health Department. So we have an annual contract with them where they come through and spray. The rate is the same as last year, $75 per mile, right? Am I saying that
Yes.
right? Which sounds like a lot, but remember, we only have a couple miles in this town, so it's about $150 a spraying, roughly. And that's cheaper than when we were paying, like an actual contractor coming
Tell me
out.
to spray my house twice. I don't like skeeters.
All right, so do I hear a motion to approve the contract with Fairfield County Health Department?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Katie first, and then Michelle. Roll call.
President DeMalt,
Yes.
Councilman Pegborn,
Yes.
Councilman Mason,
Yes.
Councilwoman Harrier,
Yes.
Councilman Orton,
Yes.
Councilwoman Harrier.
Oh,
Henry,
Yes.
sorry.
You're okay.
All right, next is, we talked about emails a couple months ago, because we did have to change to the cloud, and they cost us more. And we decided to get rid of a bunch of emails that we don't need. Well, in doing so, we've identified two. I think on your agenda, only one, but I identified another one today that we do need, that we weren't thinking about. So, the poll email address and the zoning email address, we did get rid of those, but those are very unique to help us, get information back and forth. It is $205 a year, which is the same as all of our other ones. And then he would have to set up both of these, and it takes about an hour to an hour and a half a piece to set up the email, which is about $375 to set it up per email. So normally this is something I'd be like, yeah, let's just do it, but you guys voted for a specific one, so I just want to bring it back to make sure you guys were okay with it to add these two back on. Okay, so do I hear a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Michelle? And Sarah? Penny?
And this is for the pool and zoning?
Yes.
President DeMalt,
Yes.
Councilman Pegborn,
Yes.
Councilman Mason,
Yes.
Councilwoman Harrier,
Yes.
Councilwoman Wharton,
Yes.
Councilwoman Henry.
Yes.
All right, and some of the stuff is we're just doing some regurgitation of stuff that we used to do with the pool being back. We didn't do it last year. Council has changed. I just want to make sure we still have the same opinions on how we do certain things. So in years past, and this does not include elected officials. So remember, anytime we say employees, it's not us. We're not allowed to be included in that because it's an extra benefit, and by state law, you cannot receive extra benefits other than your salary. So just make sure everyone's aware of that. But we always gave free individual passes to the guards, and then for families of employees, we gave free family passes. So typically that was 4 of them, but now we also have the police department and the auxiliary too. So are we still good with giving those out and including the police department auxiliary?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right, so I hear a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
Sarah?
I'll second it.
Katie? Roll call, please.
President DeMalt,
Yes.
Councilman Pegborn,
Yes.
Councilman Mason,
Yes.
Councilwoman Harrier,
Yes.
Councilwoman Horton,
Yes.
Councilwoman Henry.
Yes.
All right, next is, and we haven't done this for 3 or 4 years, but we used to do a first responder and our, like, summer party, type thing, and it's just a cookout and a pool party at the pool. Are you guys good with us doing that? Again, it would be a free event, limited to first responders, which would include our police department, Walnut Township Fire, Pleasant Township Fire, our staff, things like that, and then we would just cook out or whatever. So you guys good with that?
Yeah.
All right, do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Katie and Sarah, roll call?
President DeMalt,
Yes.
Councilman Pegborn,
Yes.
Councilman Mason,
Yes.
Councilwoman Harrier,
Yes.
Councilwoman Horton,
Yes.
Councilwoman Henry.
Yes.
Now, she has on here the date.
Yeah, we'll figure all that stuff out, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Because I gotta get with the fire, I mean, we gotta work with the fire department's police department,
Okay.
see what would work to get the most amount of people to show up for that. And not conflict with, like, a regular pool
everything?
party, yep.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna have a discussion about police vehicles. So if you're not aware, we have 5 police vehicles now. Was not our intention, however, you know, things happen, we're blessed. I believe last meeting, if I remember correctly, I brought to you that I got a deal on a new-to-us cruiser for $7,000, which we purchased. At the same time, Reynoldsburg was looking at donating one to us as well, but we weren't sure if we were gonna get it or not, because they only had 4 total to give away to a whole list of people. Well, we ended up getting that one too, and that's free of charge. So that's how we ended up with 5 cruisers when we really did not intend to do that. When I approached council members, we talked about getting rid of the K9 Tahoe in order, you know, to get that $7,000 one. But other things have come up the last council meeting. Kyle had approached council about doing another K9 dog, which he is paying for out of his pocket 100%. And council seemed to be in agreement to that. Well, so are we gonna keep the other Tahoe for a K9? It's already paid for, there's no sense of going out and buying another one if this is paid for, but then that kind of, you know, takes away that. What do we do with the 5th car type thing? So my suggestion is we keep all of our cars. The 5th one, the one we got from Glen Willow, we just make it a village vehicle, meaning we use it for running errands, whatever, running to the bank. We will keep it It will not be striped as a police car, but we'll keep all the lights on it, and that way if a police car breaks down, that one just goes into service as a police car. Okay, does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right, does that sound like something that we want to do? And I would like to have a vote on that just to make sure that I understand that's the direction that we want to go.
So
Yeah.
if it has the lights and everything on it,
Mhm.
even though it's not in service as a police cruiser,
Mhm.
what is the perception of the public if non-police people are driving it around?
It's an unmarked car, I don't
Yeah.
see why they would be,
Yeah.
I mean,
And-
volunteer,
Well, it's just the lights and
yeah,
stuff, so
yeah.
I just
volunteer
was
fire
questioning.
department guys run lights
Yeah.
on their cars, I mean, they're unmarked cars and stuff.
So unless you're an officer, you cannot activate those.
Yeah.
Unless you're an officer and in an emergency situation,
What are
you
you
cannot
looking at
activate
me
those.
for? Bob's over here staring at me.
Now, if it does become a problem, the only visible light bar is the one on top. Everything else is in windows you really can't see. And when I say you can't see, if you walk up to the car, you can see them, but they're not as visible. We could remove that, we just have to put a cap up there where the wires come out.
So which one are we keeping not to?
It would be the one we got from Glen Willow, the one we paid $7,000
So
for.
that'll be the same.
Yeah, that'll just be, it's a pure white car, and
Oh, it's pure white, I thought it was black and white.
that's the Reynoldsburg car. We'll kind of get into that
That's
conversation.
why
next.
I was like, it's black and white and has lights on top, and people
Yeah.
aren't gonna know it's a police vehicle?
Yeah, no,
It's just white.
yeah, the Glen Willow car is completely white. All the impressions have been rubbed off of it. Casey took the eraser to it. Again, if you get down there and really look, you can see impressions, but not from there.
The all-white one doesn't really, it just looks like a normal
Yeah.
car with the bumper on the front
Yeah.
of it.
So could the officer tell Penny what the repercussions are for accidentally hitting those lights?
Well, an accident is an accident. I wouldn't go run errands with them on because of a red light or you cut traffic. It is convenient, but
But if you ever ride with me, you need it because I run red lights because I don't pay attention.
so then when you're in the intersection, you hurry up and flip them on and make it look like you're doing something. But
And then the councilwoman that's in the car with him says, red light, red light, red light, red light!
This is a Lancaster with a Lancaster officer watching me do this, and I think he just like, it's not worth my time.
They don't have a lot of time.
Yeah, it's like,
It was funny.
it was funny. It was, yeah, not paying attention. So, is everyone good with that, or any questions, comments, any other suggestions on it?
No, I'm good.
Because I know that kind of changes our original discussion a lot. The
How many
int-
miles are on the ones that we have in service?
So all of them have, other than the one Nick drives, all of them have around 100,000. So I think 80-some thousand to 100-some thousand.
I was gonna say, I think the Tahoe, the last time I drove it was around 79.
79, okay, yeah.
Or 80, so it's pretty low.
Yeah.
It's not too bad.
Yeah, the Tahoe, the bad thing about it, just because of the age of it, it's a gas guzzler, type thing. And then Nick's Cruiser only has like 16,000 miles on it an hour, because when we bought it, it only had like 6,000. And I think we've put about 10 on it over the past year or so. But yeah, if you guys are good with that, then we can do that.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, so Corey made the motion to go
I'll
ahead and
second it.
keep those. So, keep all 5 vehicles. And use I'm gonna call it the 2019, because that's the year of it, Ford as a, town vehicle. Now, one thing, and this is more of we've already done it, but for awareness, just in case I'm never sitting in this seat and someone else is, so when we talk about police money, it has to be used for police things. It can't be used for anything else. We've already paid for these vehicles out of the general fund, but let's just assume that one of these, the vehicle we're gonna use as a town vehicle got paid out of a police fund, you would have to move that fund, because if not, Penny goes to jail. And we don't wanna send Penny to jail, right? So just for awareness, in case I'm never sitting in this seat, and something like this happens, make sure that people understand, police fund has to pay for police fund, nothing else. But because we already paid for it out of the general fund, it's no big deal, type thing,
Well,
so.
she'd have a getaway car
Yeah, true.
With lights.
All right.
with lights.
Yep, all right, so Corey made the motion, seconded by Sarah?
Yep.
All right,
So basically, the 2019 will become like the village car?
Yep.
The
Yep.
vehicle, okay.
all
And then
right,
we're just gonna use the other one, what year is the new one we got from the other place?
17.
Okay.
The Reynoldsburg car is a 17.
All right, so it'll be a backup car for the police,
It'll be
right?
put in service.
Oh, we're gonna wrap it and put it in service?
Well, that's what we're going to next.
Okay, sorry, I got ahead of the ballgame.
I just need roll call now.
Okay, sorry, President DeMont,
Yes.
Councilman Pegborn,
Yes.
Councilman Mason,
Yes.
Councilwoman Harrier,
Yes.
Councilwoman Morton,
Yes.
Councilwoman Henry.
Yes.
I'm just trying to, if I don't do this, Sam's gonna get me. Okay,
All right, so next we'll go into wrapping the 2017 Ford. So just explain the whole thing. To wrap the white car is $3,000, which we're not doing. To wrap the one that's already black and white, it's only $800 roughly. So it's a significant savings by doing what we did as well. Because on the white, we would actually have to wrap the black hood and everything else, so it's more material, is basically what it is. So if we can have a vote to authorize, I'm gonna ask for up to $900. They gave us an estimate of around $800, but you know how that goes. So, wrap the 2017 Ford, gonna approve up to $800, or, I'm sorry, $900.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, Michelle made the motion and Sarah second. Roll call?
President DeMont,
Yes.
Councilman Pegborn,
Yes.
Councilman Mason,
Yes.
Councilwoman Harrier,
Yes.
Councilwoman Morton,
Yes.
Councilwoman Henry.
Yes.
All right. All right. So the next thing doesn't need a vote on, but I just want to make sure everyone here is comfortable with it. So since Kyle's going to be training the dog, we're going to assign him the Tahoe. Is it okay with him to take that vehicle home with him at night, like Nick does? So that way, the canine's ready 24/7. Plus the training with the dog to get them used to the vehicle, it just helps out with that. With the understanding it is only to be used to transport the dog, not to run. We've already had this conversation, but you know, just so
I
we.
live 5 miles
Yeah.
away, so it's not like
Yeah.
I'm driving an hour to work.
Yep.
So.
And he's also agreed, if we allow him to do this, if Pleasantville needs a backup unit and he's at home, he can come in. He gave an instance that happened this past week, where a Pleasantville unit needed to issue, a warrant, I believe.
Yeah, so Officer King was out with a warrant and requested for backup, and the county denied him, as far as sending another unit. That's to my knowledge, I don't know the extent of it, that's just what I was told. That he had called the OIC, which is the officer in charge, so that basically means the sergeant is off duty. So they dedicate an officer to be in charge of the patrol division. To my knowledge, he made a phone call to the OIC, and they said, we're not gonna send a backup unit. So I brought to everybody's attention, if I have a take-home car and I have an officer out here trying to do a warrant, just call me, I live 5 minutes away, don't do that by yourself, you know what I mean? That's really dangerous, so,
Yeah.
that kind of red flag, you
Yeah.
know?
So there is also another benefit by one, you living so close and, you know, taking the car home. And again, on the sheriff's office, like, we don't know the details behind it. They could have been so slammed and understaffed that they don't have time for a warrant, do it at a different time. type
Which
thing.
that happens quite
Yes,
frequently.
yes.
I have pulled people over before, and they've had multiple felony warrants, and my backup unit's 15, 20 minutes away because he's with the county handling other calls.
Yep.
Because I believe Chief actually showed up on one of my warrants.
Yep.
He came to back me up, it was in Carroll.
Yep.
And he got there before the county, so I just canceled the county because they are short-staffed and they are running call to call to
Yep.
call. They
And
are
it's a
so
big,
busy.
it's a big county.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big county and they're understaffed, so
Yep.
it's probably pretty tough.
Yep.
I would bring up too, are you going to would you do mutual assistance with the dog too? Like, let's say Fairfield County has something that they really need a dog. I'm just saying, should we discuss that if he wanted to or needed to, that he could also
Yeah, so we've already,
respond to?
yeah, so as long as the chief is good with that, we've already given the chief the authority
Okay.
himself to do that. Kyle's dog isn't trained right now or certified yet, but once we get it, yeah.
Because here we're saying just at
Oh.
home and then back and forth.
Yeah,
I think we all need to discuss, because I know
Yeah.
the dogs, a lot of times, like,
yep,
might be needed.
at 3 o'clock, and Amanda.
I don't have an
Yeah.
issue with that, I really
Yeah.
don't.
Well, I'm not
I'm a
saying you
team
have
player,
to
I'll
do
help
it.
anybody
Yeah.
out if they need it.
Yeah, and I'm
like-
not saying you have to do it, but if you want to do it, or you do some mutual assistance, I just thought, council, we should
Yes,
discuss that there could be.
yeah.
an
I am always
instance
good with
of-
that, because we're gonna need help one day, and I hope we can always extend help when we can.
I agree with that, yeah.
you know.
We work together and help each other out all the time. I
Yeah.
help OSP on 33 and
Yeah.
they help
And
me
and
out.
I'm not looping you in that you have to, I just want
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
here to know, like, there
Yeah.
would be a reason that the car goes somewhere else.
Yes.
I think that we have a good enough relationship with our police department that they're gonna be wise in the use of the resources we provide them.
Yep.
So,
Okay. All
I'll
right.
make a motion to
I'll
let him,
second it.
do we need to make a motion?
You can, that's fine. But you're gonna
Well,
authorize
I'll
it?
make a motion to authorize Kyle to take home a police car for
Katie
village
seconded.
use.
And I'll second it.
All right, President DeMalt,
Yes.
Councilman Pegborn,
Yes.
Councilman Mason,
Yes.
Councilwoman Harrier,
Yes.
Councilwoman Horton,
Yes.
Councilwoman Henry.
Yes.
All right. I have one more thing for Kyle. So he is, taking, what is your dog's name again?
Riley.
Riley. I don't know why I want to say Kylie, but I knew
No,
it was
you're
wrong.
fine, you're fine.
To training. Again, he's paying for all the training himself. We're not paying for it. However, the facility that he's taking the dog to has asked if the village would write a letter stating that if he doesn't make payment, that we would. That way he can make payments on it, type thing. I don't have a problem. I mean, I think we can trust Kyle that, you know, he's gonna make the payments, and if he doesn't, we know where he lives. We kinda control some things, so we
And
can
I
go
can-
after
yeah,
him.
and I can explain that. It's $2,900. I'm getting a $300 deposit on it. It's with Columbus Canine Academy. I go through a lot of Columbus stuff. And basically, I have the money in my account right now to pay for it if something were to happen. But they basically said if council or mayor is okay with that, they'll give me 90 days to pay it. And I was like, well, I was gonna pay it immediately, and I'm like, let me bring this up, because I'm taking my kids to Disney World May 30th. I'm sorry, 31st, and she gets dropped off on the 30th, and I'm like, I don't have to pay $3,000, that would, right out of pocket, that would be great, I can, but, you know, kids, when they're in Disney World, they just grab and one, so.
So the letter is basically just acknowledging that Kyle is an officer with us and K-9 Riley is attached to him and that he would be responsible for the payments, but in case he defaults on them, that we would make them whole. And that right there would, sounds like it would appease them to allow them to go into payment processes. If you guys are good with that, I would like a
Can
mo-
we discuss anything this deposit? No, not allowed?
No, we could pay whatever we want. I mean, so Kyle and I have had
I just
convers,
feel like if he's doing,
yeah,
and he's,
yeah.
like,
So,
I'm not saying the whole thing, but,
Yeah.
like,
so what, the discussion I've had with Kyle, is the same one I had with Nick, like, go forth and conquer, but if you want reimbursed for something before you sign any contracts, you guys have to approve it, like, I can't do it, whatever.
Right.
But if you guys want to tell him, like, we're willing to pay X, yes, you guys can do that.
I'm okay with that.
Can we do it as a, can we do a certain amount of money as a reimbursement to make sure, no offense, to after the training is completed? It's like when you go to school,
You can set it up however you want.
She
make-
will, it's not a pass or fail,
Yeah.
and she will pass anybody that knows her.
she hasn't met me yet, I'm the weak link.
You're the
She's
weak
driven.
link.
All right, well,
She's very driven.
so before we do that, let's finish up the motion for the letter.
okay,
That way we can get that done. So do I hear a motion to approve that letter?
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Michelle? And Sarah? All right, roll call?
Sure. President DeMalt,
Yes.
Councilman Pegborn,
Yes.
Councilman Mason,
Yes.
Councilwoman Harrier,
Yes.
Councilwoman Horton,
Yes.
Councilman Henry.
Yes.
Okay, so yes, for the reimbursement or pay up front, however you guys can authorize to spend money however you guys see fit. If you want to put terms on it, you guys are allowed to put terms on it, so if you guys want to discuss that, you know, that's not a problem.
I just think the village is getting the use of
Yes.
it all.
Yep, no, I get it,
mean, the deposits are small.
yep,
I agree.
okay.
Yeah.
So do we want to reimburse him, or do we just want to go ahead and give
Just-
him money,
I just say.
Go ahead and do it.
reimburse?
Give him the money
Go ahead and just,
ahead of time.
so go ahead and
Michelle?
authorize payment to.
I would say so, he's already done tons of work.
Oh, I'm just saying, I don't know the rules, and I put
Have you
things
paid
out
your
there.
deposit yet?
No, that's not a bad idea.
Have you paid
No,
it?
so basically I can pay my deposit on Monday.
Okay.
So she's basically, because I'm a police officer, they're willing to work with me, they secured a kennel for her, so nobody else can take that spot.
New deposit?
They gave me till Monday to make the deposit, then that basically solidifies everything, and then,
You said it's $300, right?
yes, yes, sir.
Is that what
Yeah,
you're
for
talking
the
about?
deposit,
Yep.
yeah, just for the deposit.
So,
Just giving the deposit?
yeah.
Yeah, that's what
So-
we're saying.
Yeah.
That's
So
what
we're gonna
we're-
authorize payment to Kyle for $300 for the deposit, and we'll just write out the check directly to him.
Okay.
All right,
All right.
all right, so I hear a motion on that.
I'll make a motion.
Sarah,
I'll second it.
Michelle?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What does Sam say? Wait for me. Okay, who approved it?
Sarah?
Michelle seconded.
This wasn't on the agenda.
It is now.
I know, that's why I'm over here going, all right.
Sorry, it's
No,
my fault.
No, no,
It
no.
is not.
Are you in the village tomorrow?
I can be, yeah.
He
Okay,
lives 5 miles away and he has
Okay.
a car.
so,
Listen to Cole.
You guys did let me take the car, so I mean, I
So,
don't really have an
see-
excuse to not be.
see me tomorrow,
Okay,
12 to 4, and I'll get you the check. That way you can get it, whatever you need to do to have it Monday,
okay.
okay?
You have to approve something.
I'm so
All right,
clever.
so let's do roll call. Let's do President DeMalt,
Yes.
Councilman Pegborn,
Yes.
Councilman Mason,
Yes.
Councilwoman Harrier,
Yes.
Councilwoman Wharton,
Yes.
Councilwoman Henry.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, that was funny.
All right,
All right. I think I got this.
so that's all I have for police department. All right, so next is our renewal for our Lancaster Chamber of Commerce. Again, we're a member of the Lancaster Fairfield County Chamber of Commerce. It is $500 a year. It helps us out, doesn't help us out as much as we thought it would, but it does help us out with like the festival and stuff like that, and there are benefits. There is free training that we can attend. Just unfortunately, we haven't been able to attend some of those trainings. So I still think it's useful, because some of those trainings, that $500 would be for one of the trainings if we weren't a member type thing, so.
Can anyone do the training?
As long as they're an employee of the village, so yes,
I mean, like council, like if
Yeah.
you can't go, can one of us go?
yes. Yeah, but it's usually like workman's comp type, like for employees, like how to lift, how to do
Right,
stuff like
right,
that. But yes, as long as you're, because Travis always done an employee of the village,
Yeah.
they're good with it, so that kind of covers us.
I just wonder if we should all try to utilize it.
Yeah, yeah, we can let people know the different types of training, because again, training's training, right?
Yeah.
It's not,
Well, obviously, he needs to take the one, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like,
yep.
you know, if there's stuff, maybe, I don't know if Penny has a list that she can. send out to everyone.
It's basically as they get them scheduled, they send out an email. Like it's a, I don't want to say last that, like they give you 30 days in advance notice. Because I also think they poll their members to see what kind of training,
They want.
yeah, they want type thing, and then they go out and try to find it, so. All right, so do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion. Michelle, you go right ahead. Michelle makes a motion.
Michelle made the motion,
I'll second it.
Corey second. Roll call?
President DeMalt,
Yes.
Councilman Pegborn,
Yes.
Councilman Mason,
Yes.
Councilwoman Harrier,
Yes.
Councilwoman Horton,
Yes.
Councilwoman Henry.
Yes.
All right, next is Resolution 582501, supplemental appropriations. Be it resolved, the Village of Pleasantville Council, that the following supplemental appropriations be approved. General Fund, $6,630, and that's to increase our insurance and bonding for our 2025 premium. General Fund, $2,958.75, professional technical services. That's for the additional email and backup of our system. Street Fund, $500, and that's for additional money needed for natural gas here at the shop. Park and Recreation Funds, $398.31, supplies and materials, and that's for Audi Park supplies. So for the new building, we had to buy toilet paper rolls, things like that. That wasn't part of the grant. Park and Recreations Fund, $12,000 repairs and maintenance, and that was for the repair, to make the payment for last year's contract where they came up and done the repair leaks.
I'll send the one around to sign.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
And that was done by Sarah, second.
I'll
I'll
second. No, guys.
Katie, second. Roll call?
President DeMalt,
Yes.
Councilman Pegborn,
Yes.
Councilman Mason,
Yes.
Councilwoman Harrier,
Yes.
Councilwoman Horton,
Yes.
Councilwoman Henry.
Yes.
All right. The next two resolutions are thanking the Village of Glen Willow and the City of Reynoldsburg. So we'll start with Resolution 582502, thanking the village of Glen Willow. A resolution expressing gratitude to the village of Glen Willow, Ohio, including its council, mayor, and chief of police for the opportunity to purchase a surplus 2019 Ford Police Interceptor utility vehicle to the village of Pleasantville Police Department at a reduced cost. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Is it just a letter that gets sent?
Yeah, this is just a formal thank you. Yep. I'm sorry.
Katie first did it
Yeah.
And then I seconded.
on both of them? Is that what-
We're just doing one at a time.
Okay, okay. Oh, President DeMalt,
Yes.
Councilman Pegborn,
Yes.
Councilman Mason,
Yes.
Councilwoman Harrier,
Yes.
Councilwoman Horton,
Yes.
Councilwoman Henry.
Yes.
All right, next one is Resolution 582503, a resolution expressing gratitude to the city of Reynoldsburg, Ohio, including its council, mayor, and chief of police for the generous donation of a surplus 2017 Ford Police Interceptor utility vehicle to the village of Pleasantville's Police Department. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Sarah made the motion.
I'll second it.
Katie second. Roll call.
President DeMalt,
Yes.
Councilman Pegborn.
Yes.
Councilman Mason,
Yes.
Councilwoman Harrier,
Yes.
Councilwoman Horton,
Yes.
Councilwoman Henry.
Yes.
All right. I do have an item that's not on your agenda. I got this earlier this week and I forgot to have Sam add it. So the work being done at 100 North Main Street, the old grocery store, I told you that we have some quotes coming in to redo the front, to replace the windows and the doors. So a standard shop entrance, which is all glass door. I got 3 different quotes. The lowest bid was $12,500. The highest bid was $20-some thousand type thing. And that's just for a very plain, basic, just glass type thing. I did talk with our current contractor, Perry, and asked him, could we do something similar to the Mythoff building downtown? So I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the Mythoff building downtown Lancaster, but they done a little bit ornate windows and a lot of woodwork, things like that, just to make it pop, make it look more for the era that it was built. So the contractor, he went out and done some research. Now, why we can't afford to do the really curved, nice windows, they could do the squared windows kind of like that's on the side. He found I think it's 83 Lumber in Lancaster is who supplied most all that material. So he went to them and basically what did they buy and got a list. So he can redo both of those storefronts and put in a new door replacing the existing and add a new door to the other side for $12,800. So it's in line with our lowest bid on the windows. And I think that will give it more charm, things like that. Right now, like as of today, we don't have the extra cash to say, hey, let's spend this. But this is something that I know we want to get to. So I just want to make sure that you guys are aware. I am going to talk to Perry and just like, how long can this price be held for? Because materials just keep going up, right? And if we wait, 6 months, when we may have a little bit more cash in our account, once some of the revenues start coming in, what do we think that price may be? It may go up a couple $1,000s, right? But if I just want to bring that to your attention, are you guys good with this type thing? And holding off is my opinion, but again, there's a risk of the price going up too, just because
Yeah.
of material. But I think right now I'm willing to ride that wave. And right now we don't need 2 doors in the building because we only have 1 tenant type thing, and we're making things work. So it's not an urgent need right now. So you guys good with that?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
good with that.
All right. Then that's all I have. We'll go around the room for council members. Katie?
Nope.
Sarah?
Nope.
Corey?
Nope.
Michelle?
Nope.
Bill? Bob? Penny?
No,
Okay. All right, miscellaneous items. If you guys remember last month, I announced the death of Miss Charlotte Myers, and we ended up sending $80 to the sociables,
I think it was
$100?
75.
$75 to the sociables. That was one of her requests versus flowers. So we did get a letter or a thank you note back from the Pleasantville Sociables. Thank you for your donation to the Pleasantville Sociables in the name of Charlotte Myers. Your donation is very much appreciated. Thank you, Pleasantville Sociables. So we'll hang that up in the back. And again, that's a great organization. They're funded through the county, through Senior Hub, what used to be called Meals on Wheels. But that doesn't pay for everything, so this will help them with different things on their field trips and food and stuff like that. And also get some of our seniors out of their houses and out actively doing things, so. Next thing I have, again, this is nothing that we're voting on, but the festival wants to kind of rearrange the festival grounds to do things a little bit different, but we need to change electric down there. So I did get a quote from Axle Electric to do what we think is needed. It's about $16,000. I'm going to be applying for grant money to do this. And this is a reasonable price, I mean, because we're basically putting electric at the back of the park. But just so you guys are aware, I did get a quote on this. I am going to use this to start the grant paperwork. I'm going to try for grants where we don't have to pay nothing toward it, but there is a chance that I may have to come back and say we have to pay 25% of this in order to get some favorable consideration on it. But more to come on that, but just, you know, make you guys aware of what we're
Who
doing.
was the company through? I'm sorry.
Axel, AXXEL. They're out of Lancaster.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Mhm.
These are just for me and Michelle to sign?
Yes, and Bob. Yep.
You guys only took sign for Okay.
Yeah. If they actually sign them, it's no big deal. They're just the purchase
What
orders.
is it? Oh,
The purchase orders.
oh.
Um,
Oh, I just need the front one signed. I'm sorry. I sent on my backup with it.
Community yard sale is June 13th and 14th. So we need to start advertising that. Hopefully we get some traction on there, build that back up. So make sure, let your neighbors know if you have any unwanted treasures, not junk, you want to get rid of. That's a good day to do it, 2 days to do it.
You said 13th and 14th?
13th and 14th, yep,
Okay.
that Friday and Saturday.
You just do it at your house.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you had like
And then Memorial Day Parade, which is hosted by the Ross George American Legion. Post 9 is Monday, May 26th at 10 a.m. Parade lineup is always on First Street, and then that kind of wraps around, comes out where the new Mexican restaurant is, Old Pacers. Heads up Main Street to Columbus Street, down to the park. There's a ceremony at the park, and then from there, they go to Hampton Cemetery for the final ceremony. It's a very unique parade because of the ceremonies. A lot of people come back year to year, you know, for that, just because it's a family tradition. But it is largely attended, and it's something that, you know, we want to make sure that we keep, and I know the Legion works very hard on that, so, AKA Bob. Do you need any help from us?
Yes, I do.
Okay, what do you need?
Penny. And you,
Okay,
you gonna be here?
yep, I'm not going camping that.
Okay.
I'm no longer camping Memorial Day weekend just because of you.
Okay, thank you.
So yeah, do you need, when I say help with the parade, do you need me to reach out with people and just see if they want to attend, or?
Yeah, if you,
Okay.
if you'd like to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've contacted a few people.
Okay.
Lancaster Car Club, but
Okay,
no answers yet.
okay,
But it's still, you know, when you talk to people, it's still,
it's still early.
Yeah.
I mean, even though it's,
even though it's not.
it's
in-
not, yeah,
It
Yeah,
is.
3 weeks,
yeah, okay.
2 weeks.
And
Yeah.
it's on Memorial Day.
It's on.
Yeah, Memorial Day,
It's on
yep.
Monday.
Yep, and it's a good walk. Like honestly, it's a walking parade. You actually have to walk with it in order to get every aspect of it, so, which is good. All right, the last thing I have is 100 North Main Street. So when we hired the contractor, we didn't include painting in that because we had some people that were lined up to do it, to volunteer their time, and then I was to get some people that needed some hours taken off in lieu of going to jail. The volunteers came up, volunteered 2 days. They did not get everything completed. And then all of my court cases decided to go to jail versus come up and paint, which to me is stupid, but hey, you know, if you like jail, go to jail. So if anyone has free time, they like to paint, let me know. I know we'll probably be up here at some point.
I don't mind painting, but the hours that she was gonna be like, I know where she read off.
Yeah, but our painting, we can do it anytime we feel like it, because we
okay.
would just, I would give you the key and say, there's the paint, have at it.
Okay.
The floors aren't down yet. We're kind of waiting to put the floors down until the paint's done, so it's less mess. And it's pretty much just wide open. Whether you're a good painter or you suck at painting like me, I don't think you can mess it up.
And Michael paints real fast. He should
Well,
paint the whole thing.
Michael's gonna come up and do some painting. He's already volunteered.
I actually enjoyed
Yeah,
painting. I just, when she named off when she was gonna be in there,
Yeah.
I had to work.
yeah. And they didn't have the volunteers that I think they thought they were gonna have, type thing, but it's fine. We'll get through it. It's just Perry wants to get that floor down. That floor, the front office is done. It's beautiful. With that paint, he just got to finish up the trim, but it'll look good once it's done.
So how much do we have left to
The entire downstairs.
paint? Oh, okay, so nothing's been painted.
One room's been painted, essentially.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
How much does he have done in
He's basically, once he lays the floor, so once we paint, he can lay the floor, then he can do trim, then he can finish the bathroom, and it's done. Like, it's really not a bunch.
He's been
If I was
working.
doing it, it would be a bunch, but with him doing it, it's, it's not much.
Well, and we also have to find the shuttle.
Well, yeah,
Gotta find a what?
there? You
The
know where
water shut off.
Shut-off's at, it doesn't work there, right?
Huh?
I said, I thought you knew where your shut-off was, it just didn't work.
No, we got the shut off, the pipe doesn't lead to the shuttle.
Oh,
You know, when you put the shut off key down the
yeah.
pipe.
it's a Columbia Gas special.
It goes all the way to the ground and keeps going. It just-
Yeah. So when they redone that, excavated to fix their gas pipe, that's where our water shut off is, and they
Yeah.
just, I swear they just do this and toss it into the ground wherever it lands. And then
so
they,
we found the pipe, but when we go to, there's nothing there,
Yeah.
so we wind up having to clean it out.
Put it on the list, cause you have several that you need to,
Oh, yeah, we know. But I'm waiting for more curb stop boxes.
you got Fattles?
Huh?
You have Fattles?
We have valves.
Okay.
We have everything but the curb stop boxes, right?
all right. That's all I had. Anyone else before we adjourn? If not, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I make the motion.
Bill made the motion, second.
I'll second it.
Michelle, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. It is 8:00 PM.
Sorry, Sam.
So what?
Sorry, Sam.
Is Sam listening?
23rd.
Yes.
Of course.
Thank you.